You're listening to the At Your Request Show with Nick Collings. This is Up FM 107.5.
Yes, welcome back. It is the At Your Request Show. And right about now, got to introduce you to my next guest. Now, Angela Fisken has been DJing in Auckland for over a decade now. These days, she is well known playing a mixture of house, fidget breaks and trashy electro on her own and as one part of Aural Trash alongside Greg Churchill. She's played every major event worth mentioning and is scheduled to play at the 2011 Big Day Out. Not content with just playing the music, she's had a hand in producing and remixing several top acts and is now firmly focused on the first release on Aural Trash's own record label, Move to Trash. Angela, it's a pleasure to have you here on Up.
Thank you for having me here, Nick.
Hey, that's not a problem. Now, going back to the very, very early days, I actually think it's the first time we've probably, or you and I have spoken on Up FM, so I want to go back to the very early days. What got you into dance music, especially, in kind of the beginning for you?
For me, really, I don't know what got me into it, but I mean, I was always out at clubs, really. Probably when I moved up from Hamilton, where I went to university, and I moved up here to do hairdressing, and that was when I was about 21, and from then I was just out all the time, 4 nights a week. And it sort of turned out that I had a lot of friends that were DJs. And through that, I think, just people like Mikey Havoc and that, we were just sort of with that whole group of people. And so through that, I think that inspired me. Just by chance, I wanted to make a mixtape for a friend, so I had so many people with decks and that around me, so I just got them to show me how to use them, and from that moment on I loved it. I didn't think I would love it as much as I did, and then someone booked me for a party, and I loved that even more, just playing to people, and that was it. I was hooked.
In the early days, was it always kind of the housey stuff?
It was very housey. It was very funky, kind of sort of big room. It's like quite cheesy house, actually, and I went under the name of DJ Angel, which is kind of slightly embarrassing, but that was for about 2 years, actually. Sort of playing music, kind of Tim Finnish type music, that sort of thing. And actually Tim was one of my really good friends, and he gave me a really big break, putting me on in my first, I'd only been DJing for about 2 months, and he put me on as a resident at the Our House Club Nights, that was the start of the Our House brand, and that was every week, every Friday night at Bed.
Yep, on K Road. Yep.
Yeah, they were amazing. There were queues out the block, and that was my first time. Before I did play at Vinyl Junkies and that for a while, but that was my first big thing, and I was, I even did a CD, which I just actually listened to the other day, and it was just horrendous. It's kind of embarrassing, but yeah, so it was really just funky house,
And how do you think in that whole time the kind of dance scene has sort of changed, or for you? How do you think things have changed in that was it a 10-year period?
It was 10 years ago, yeah, that was in 2000. I started in 2000. Well, obviously I don't really play funky house anymore, and I just gradually, I just like things with a bit more energy or a slightly darker style, perhaps. I don't know, like to use the word darker really, but and actually it was through the Our House. Greg Churchill was a resident as well on those Our House nights, and so I kind of got to know him through that. I didn't really know him before because I didn't really go to the box or anything like that. I was more sort of caliber type of, and up to squid and sort of thing. So I didn't know him until then, and I got to know his wife. I was really good friends with his wife, Galen. So and I still am. So it was kind of just a chance thing that I became good friends with him, and whether that, I just loved listening to him play, and that probably really influenced me. And so he asked me, it was about 2003, to do a radio show with him up at BFM, and actually Galen, his wife, came up with the name Aural Trash. Just as it was kind of a trashy sort of. That was on the verge of electro trash, I think, electro clash when that sort of came out. That sort of sound.
Yep.
So that name seemed to fit, and we just went with it, and we just didn't really think ahead or where it would lead or how long we would do it for, but we were still doing it.
You're doing pretty darn well at it. Yeah. It definitely did. Which is another leading question as well. How do you think you've managed to make playing and also the writing of music, which we'll get to in a sec, your main occupation for so long? What's the secret to longevity, I guess, in the Auckland dance scene?
I'm not sure. I think really just doing what you love. I think that's what it is. I feel like, I never thought I'd be doing this for 10 years. And it was actually only probably 5 years that I've been doing this as a full-time job, because previously I was a hairdresser when I actually got into this, and I had been hairdressing for 13 years, and there was a big overlap, and so hairdressing during the week and playing out in the weekends, and it just became a bit much, and I just thought I will just take a chance and stop hairdressing even for 6 months. And I said to the salon, can I leave and and maybe come back before Christmas, because just to give me a chance to see if I can make it only doing DJing, and I haven't gone back. So I don't know. I think it's really just if you love it. I don't think you can do it if you don't actually love it, I don't know. That's just the way I feel. It's hard to, on a rainy night, to get out of bed at, I always sleep before the gig, so I get out of bed at midnight, and if you don't actually really love what you're doing,
It's a passion based.
I think it really has to be. It has to be, or it's just like a job, which no one wants to just go to a job, do they?
Everyone wants to do what they love.
Yeah,
that's the dream.
And get paid for it. Yeah, and just to be able to make a living. It's not like I actually make a fortune or much at all, but it's just enough to keep me here and doing that in the weekends, because it's really only 2 nights a week that I do work.
Yep.
Oh well, get paid for the rest of the time. I'm
prepping for it.
Doing stuff in the studio, yeah.
You're prepping for it. And speaking of the studio, you and Greg as Aural Trash just recently have set up a little label called Move to Trash. Tell us a little bit about Move to Trash, what it's all about, what's the inception behind it?
Okay. Well, it just started at the start of this year. I think both Greg and I separately decided, I know for myself, I decided, right, something's got to happen this year, because I've just had a few years of cruising along, pretty much, the last few years, of nothing bad happening, nothing great happening. There's been no great steps forward, right? So I was thinking to myself, I have to do something. There has to be a change for the good. And actually, the funny thing is, Greg was thinking exactly the same thing, because I remember talking to him on the phone, and we both said exactly the same thing, that we need to actually press forward with the whole Aural Trash brand and make another step forward. So we were thinking along the same lines, and so the most logical step was obviously production. And in saying that, we thought, well, let's just start our own record label. We probably only thought that about 6 months ago, or sometime through this year, that we need to, in order to get things out in a hurry, within a month or so, we need our own label, because otherwise, something will get signed, and it may take almost a year for it to get out. And Greg's had a lot of experience with that, because, he's been releasing for years, so he just knows the frustrations with record labels and everything. So we just thought, why not? And it turned out to be not that great of a big deal to set it up, now that everything's digital. So we came up with a name, Move to Trash, and that's it. And today, actually, is our first release, Adat, which came out on iTunes today, I believe, and tomorrow it'll be out on the UK Juno download. So we're pretty excited about it.
Now, when you and Greg get in the studio together, is there any conflict? Do you ever sit and go, oh, no, I don't like that bass line, and Greg's like, no, it's great. How do you resolve all that conflict?
Well, surprisingly, not. We're always saying, oh, no, I don't like that, or I don't like that. And apparently, according to Greg, I've got really bossy. So hopefully I'm not getting too bossy. But because I'll go around to his studio. There's pretty much every Monday and Tuesday. This is our schedule. Monday and Tuesday are studio day. So I'll go around to his studio. And we'll just sit there and do... We've just had a string of remixes that we've actually had to get done. So we've really been working on remixes. But, yeah, no, it's all worked out pretty well. It's quite surprising. There's been no big fights, you know?
Are you both the quality control people there as well? So you've been working together for so long, so you don't mind a little bit of criticism from the other person because you know it's constructive.
Exactly. Like we've known each other for years, so it doesn't. It's not. We're not going to cry or hurt each other's feelings, you know. We're both pretty vocal about it. So, and it's so far, you know, touch wood, worked out great.
Now, the first release is Adat, and it is Aural Trash, under the name Aural Trash. What are some of the other releases, or what can people expect over the coming months from the Move to Trash label?
Okay, well, we're actually... the next one was going to be one from Greg, Serial Thriller. We might just put that off for a bit. That's all ready to go. But just yesterday, we were in the studio, and we just... totally came up with something great, so we think we're going to push that one out next. I think that's going to be it. It'll be probably finished by next week, hopefully, so we can hopefully get the ball rolling and get that. Well, there's no name for it yet, but maybe if you listen up on the... Oh no, I won't talk about the radio show. Sorry, Nick.
It's all right, the Aural Trash show.
Yeah. Probably that. We've got two in the pipeline that can come out pretty soon. And we've just got two more remixes to finish for other people. One is the North Shore Pony Club, and another one is for Phil Alexander from Christchurch. We've just got those two to finish before this year, and then we're just going to really put our heads down and work on the label and just do Aural Trash originals. So we just had so much remix work to do that that's why we've only really been able to come up with one, just with the Adat. So that's what we decided. We're just going to put our heads down and go for it next year.
And will Move to Trash be just strictly for you guys, or are you got to, you know, there's quite a few great people that you guys deal with on a world scale all the time. Are you including everybody into...
At this stage, we're not, because we are just new to it. New to the record label business. We don't really want to be employers as such.
Yep.
You know, there's the whole thing, and then we'll have to be paying people and promoting people really well. Whereas we're not going to care if we... it's just us at the moment, so we're not... someone's not going to get upset that we're not promoting them enough, or... You know what I mean? I think we'll wait until we get our head totally around it. And then we'll see, because we've had a lot of offers, a lot of people wanting, sending us their tracks. But at the moment, we're just saying, just to keep everyone happy. I think we're gonna get it really, really sorted first. The whole owning a label and running it, and then we'll see where we go.
And also, you mentioned, because you guys have a backlog of tunes you want to release as well.
Yeah, we do, and unless and that's the thing. We thought if we do release other people's tunes, we would do an Aural Trash remix as well, because otherwise we might as well put our name on something, you know.
Definitely, you got to be proud of your label.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Now, on the DJ front, what have you got coming up over Christmas, New Year? You know, maybe people, you know, they love what the Aural Trash thing's doing. They love what you do as well, and they want to go out and see you. Whereabouts can they see maybe this week and in the coming weeks?
Right. Well, this Friday I'm going to be at Coherent I think Greg's playing there as well, and maybe the Coincide boys are playing there as well.
Yep.
Then I'd say at this stage I've got Saturday off. There was some pool party planned, but apparently it's still to be confirmed. So I think the week after, the 18th, both Greg and I are doing 4 hours at Adat Pukekohe at Smart Bar. And what else? Also, Greg and I are doing an Aural Trash. Well, we're booked to play as Aural Trash in Tairua. That's on in between Christmas and New Year, so that should be fun. That's on the 28th of December. And then New Year's, we've got Whangarei. We're playing in a forest. We've got an outdoor rave in a forest. So that should be good. And then, of course, the big one, Day Out, we're playing it on 21st.
Will this be your first big day out?
This will be my first big day out, so I'm really, really excited about it. Greg's done quite a few, and he's also done an Australian tour big day out, so probably a piece of cake for him, but I'm really, really excited about it.
Now, you are a bit of a frequent flyer all around New Zealand all the time. What is one of the best places for you to always kind of go and visit and play at?
Right, okay. Oh, okay, yeah, it's kind of tough because Hamilton has suddenly become great. I don't know, those boys down there running that place are, those Tronic DJs have got some good things going on down there, and they've managed to make Hamilton a huge big party place. So that's big. Whangarei is great. It's always, the people up there are just so up for it and so nice, and they're just so onto it with the music. They know all the music. That's always a surprisingly great place. What else? Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
Those are the main places that
Those are the main ones
really
that spring to mind.
But you do enjoy playing everywhere you go.
Yeah. And in here in Auckland, obviously I love Ink and Incoherence. And I played at Code for the first time with the new sound system last week, and my God, I was impressed. I felt exciting, like a club, like I could feel that place could be having a big comeback, perhaps.
Was it quite spooky? Was it quite spooky going back?
Well, it was. Well, I've been back since when they moved the booth, and I didn't really like it, and it wasn't that great because Code was always.
That was your stomping. That was your stomping ground.
It was always, you remember it always being great. I don't know if it was always great, but people just remember that time being great. And actually, I remember it being great too. So now that they've moved the booth and put a new sound system in, just in the last week or so, it just felt great again. You know, it felt exciting. So. I think I'm back there for Calvertron in January, so I'm really, really excited about getting back there. And the B's great. I love B. You know, sound system, awesome. So, yeah. Between those ones here, I love them.
Those are the places to be.
Yeah.
Alrighty, the first release from Move to Trash, Aural Trash, Adat. It's out today, right now on iTunes. Also, it's going to be on, did you say Juno Download? On
Juno Download, it'll be tomorrow, just with the date. You know, the 8th is tomorrow there. So, yeah, junodownload.uk, I guess, something.
Junodownload.com.
Oh, is it? Okay, yep.
That's the one right there. So, everybody get out and support it. Angela, an absolute pleasure to talk to you this morning.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, that's right. We're going to go away and actually play Adat right now.
Yay, cool.
All right, take it easy, Angela.
Thank you.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye. There you have it. That was Angela Fisken. One part of Aural Trash. Right now, let's go play that very first release from the Move to Trash record label. Here it is, Aural Trash, Adat. This is Up FM 107.5.
Show with Nick Collins. This is Up FM 107.5.
Back after the break. It is Up FM 107.5.